So last night I was standing in line waiting for my Five Guys dinner to be ready, and just looking at my phone, pulled up Craigslist, the free listing, and somebody had this listed about 10 miles from me. So I called the guy up and went over and picked it up. It's a Simplicity Rototiller. Got a 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine. The gentleman said that he inherited it from his mother-in-law and only used it a handful of times and then stored it, and hasn't really worked on it or run it since, a couple of years maybe. But the price was right, seemed to be in decent shape. I'm looking for a nice project to try out some of my handyman skills, specifically with small engines. Let's see if I can get in here. So it's a model 1302920141-02, it looks like. And the code at the bottom, which I think is related to the year of manufacture, looks like it says 711087 maybe. But it's a little dirty, not too bad. But as part of this project, come on. So let's see. I'm also going to, for my little bit of research last night after I got it home, there's a worm gear in here that they specifically call out to only use gear oil. So definitely not like motor oil. So I'll pop that open at some point and take a look. But because it hasn't been run in so long, I don't want to try to start it now because I think it has old gas in there. But I want to be able to test for spark, and I don't have a real good way to do that. The only other time I tried to do that on my John Deere tractor, I tried to use a paper clip to bridge the gap to look for a spark. So I ran out to Harbor Freight and picked, oh, the other thing is it came with the original manual. That's kind of nice. But I ran out to Harbor Freight and picked up one of these inline spark checkers. So I hope to use this for this project. Okay, next attempt, or next day. So I started to power wash it a little bit. Started cleaning some of the grime off the tines and things like that. But decided that I wanted to do some work on the engine first to make sure it's going to turn over and what have you. So the first thing I want to do is see what we're dealing with in terms of the gas tank. So let me get a flashlight. So let's see if I can get this on tape. Probably not very easily. Hard to shine the flashlight in. There we go. So I can see through the gas. It actually doesn't look too dark. I did a little bit of research online and found that it's a common problem for these gas tanks to rust from the inside. Oh, I can see, I don't know if you can see it, a little bit of the carburetor. Ooh. Yeah, so that thing sticking down there is the fuel intake for the carburetor. Man, I can't get the light in there. There we go, that thing right there. Actually doesn't look too bad. Oh yeah, I can see the side wall. Oops. And it doesn't look too rusty. So we may be in luck here. Again, I don't know how old this gas is. The gentleman who I got it from said he hadn't run it in a couple of years, so I don't want to start it just in case it's started to varnish, which I think happens after many years. But so what I'm going to do now Let's see, it's still kind of grimy, very grimy. Let's do some more work on her. Well, we got this going. So next thing I'm going to do is check the air filter and carburetor area. So let me get a flathead screwdriver. So I'm also investigating getting a tripod or something for this so I don't have to hold it by hand, and also free up my other hand, but I don't have that yet. So I'm just going to do a flathead screwdriver here. Take this off, see what we have for the air filter. So a nice long screw, it's knurled at the end, nice like thumb screw. Come on, focus. There we go. And a washer, which is in very dirty shape. Oh, that's actually, it's like paper or something. Oh, ha! That's not at all what I expected to happen. Okay, so here's the underside of the air filter. It's kind of grimy. Don't really know what I'm looking for here. I expected this to come apart like a sandwich. See how there's a air filter coming around the edge? I don't know if that's OEM or if somebody tried to just shove some foam in here. But I lost part of my light source. So here is the carburetor. It's also kind of grimy, very grimy. Hello again. There was one more thing I wanted to try today, just to see how, to see if it's seized or if there's good compression. I did remove the spark plug connector, which it's missing the boot here, but I just want to see. Yeah, turns freely. The rope is in very good shape, and I hear it as it strokes the compression. Obviously I'm not measuring the compression, but I can hear it. So yeah, so I bet if I replace this gas, it might even turn over. So more next time. Well, I got impatient, and after smelling the gas, it smells, I mean, I'm obviously no expert, but it smells like gas to me. So sometimes you hear online people say bad gas has a strong smell. I'm not quite sure what they mean by strong, but this seemed to have just a regular gas smell. And I was able to get the cover off the air filter, and it seems to be OEM, not too dirty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reconnect the spark plug and choke it. And then I'm going to see if I can start it. I'm going to full throttle. Actually, I'll do half throttle, even though I'm not sure, because I'm not going to engage the let's see what happens. Choke open, spark, half throttle. I'm even getting a spark. So let me grab my spark tester. So I'm getting a spark. I'll continue next time. So as you may remember from last time, I tried to start it and it didn't start, and I'm really glad it didn't, because one thing I forgot to do that I should have done right off the bat is check the oil. If it had turned over and there was no oil in there, I could have very quickly seized it. So this oil fill, so here's the oil drain and here's the oil fill, and so it's just you twist it, or if it's tight you can use a screwdriver to go between these two pegs. So let's see what we got going on in here. Okay, you can go inside, buddy. Actually, can you play outside a little bit longer? Doing something else?
Yeah.
Okay, looking down in there, I don't know if you can see, probably not. But there is oil up to the fill. It's supposed to come up about halfway up the spout. There's no like dipstick or anything. It's supposed to come up about halfway, and there is oil in there, so if it had started, it probably would have been okay to at least run for a second.
Why are you telling me?
I'm not, I'm talking to the camera.
Oh.
So that's good. But what I'm going to do now is I'm still trying to decide what to do about the carburetor and gasoline. It looks like I can get a carb kit, like seals, gaskets and seals and things like that, for about $7 or $8 online. So I think I'm going to order that. And in the meantime, I'm going to do a little more work on other parts of the rototiller. I'm going to try to get these tines off. It looks like we have a couple of Cotter pins, and then not bolts, but you know, like other pins that hold the outer tine assembly to the shaft. So the reason I want to take these apart is so that I can clean them easier. I started to pressure wash this, but it was really tricky in this particular configuration. So I'm going to try to take these out by removing the cotter pins and then see if I can slide them out. Removing those pliers, I'm just going to try to flatten out this cotter pin. And actually, I have a couple of these magnetic parts trays from Harbor Freight, so I'm going to put the pieces in here so I don't lose them. Okay, so now that I've gotten that straightened out, how do I get it out? Let me get a hammer. It and pull it, maybe. Ow. Good thing I've got these gloves on, otherwise that would have cut me pretty bad. Look at my locking grips here. Lock it on there, and then maybe I can hit that with the hammer. There we go. There she came out. So I'll put that right in the parts magnet holder. Ooh, maybe I can't get that vice grip out. That lock, there we go. And this pin, I think, should pop out. Yeah, so it's looks like it was painted actually originally. Same color as the rototiller, that's interesting. Let's see what... Oh, these are bolted together. Oh wait, I don't know what I just did. Yeah, I took one of them out, but now it looks like I need to get this one out too. So let's try bending, let's try that same process again over here. again. There we go. So there's the other cotter pin, much longer. And let's see what this bolt looks like. Get it out. There we go. Okay, so this one wasn't painted, it doesn't look like. But it's not in too bad a shape. Dirty. I can get that off. Cleaning it. But come on, there we go. So there's the cotter pin, and going back in there just to keep track of it. Then I'll put that in the magnetic holder too. Now let's see if this will come off. Yep, look at that. So here we have full of gunk. It's fine, I can clean that out. Looks like it's has the ability to run different amounts of tines or different amounts of. So it looks like the painted side. This is ER on that side. It looks like the painted side goes in towards the gearbox. So after I get this all cleaned up and put back together. Oh, it looks like I can have different tine configuration. Yeah, okay. So I think they were alternating. Yeah, they were. The tines were alternating when I took it apart. So now that those are off, I'm gonna leave this side on just to hold it up. But that wasn't too bad. I'm gonna work on taking this side off and then cleaning up the tines and stuff. I'm not sure. I'll work on that later. Okay, more next time. So I'm soaking the first set of tines in water with some dish soap. And once it loosens up, hopefully the grime and stuff, I'll be able to scrub it. I'm going to leave that side on for now for balance. I did notice that in the manual for this particular unit, it says that over time, if the belts and stuff inside here, which I'm going to open in a minute, loosen, that they recommend shimming the engine to lift it, which is interesting to me. And it looks like somebody has shimmed it twice, or maybe it came that way from the factory, but that on top. But then this bottom shim has come loose. So I suspect that somebody took this bolt out here, and then when they put it back together, they didn't get it through the hole, or maybe it's not actually a hole, maybe it's a slot. Oh yeah, it looks like it's a slot. It must have just vibrated out. I bet you I could hammer that back in. Anyway, just notice that. I don't think I'm going to have to do anything with that right this minute. But so the next thing I'm going to do is take this housing off right here to expose the belts. So to do that, let me get my socket set. So it looks like on the outside there's these, I don't know what they are. Let's see, maybe 10 millimeter? Let's see. Yeah, good guess. Now let's try 9. If I have a little play to it. Nope. So it looks like 10 millimeter on the outside, but on the inside, I don't know if you can see it, but on the opposite side, on the inside, I don't know what you can see, what you can't, but essentially there's the nut end of the bolt on the inside. So I have to figure out what size that is. Oh, maybe you couldn't see that the first time around. Well, on the outside, there are these two, looks like 10 millimeter. A little bit of play. I wonder if it's standard, not metric. I have no idea what the standard equivalent of 10 millimeter is. 1/8 inch, maybe? Aha, yes, okay, so 3/8 inch fits much tighter. Maybe another parts tray. Ow. That's why I should be wearing gloves. Damn it. Sprung up. As long as there's no nuts on the inside, it looks like it's just threaded into the housing maybe. Pop the cover off. So here's a nice, it's actually in really good shape. And then here is all the drive stuff. Here, let me see if I can turn this into the sun. So here are all the drive components. This belt is super loose. So it looks like when I spin this one here, you can see the flywheel spinning. Yeah, these belts probably gonna need to be replaced. Although, what puts tension on those? Oh, okay. So that's the okay. So that's the forward. This here tightens. So this cable here comes up to the handle that says marked forward, and pulls this, gives this tension, and then reverse. The reverse cable comes and pulls on this one, and gives this one tension to go forward or backwards. So these both must drive the flywheel. Yeah, okay, so spinning this top one here also spins the flywheel. And then, so this engages forward, this engages reverse, and then I guess it's just spinning all, as soon as it starts, it must just start the rototiller tines. Interesting. Okay. Well, obviously there's more to be cleaned up in here. Looks like this slightly fatter belt is the forward, and this skinnier belt is the reverse. So as I take these apart to do some cleaning in here, and also, does this freely spin? Yeah, all this stuff seems to be moving. None of it seems to be frozen. I wonder if let me move the camera here a little bit. I don't know what you can see, but what I'm hoping is I can tilt this back and maybe spin this. See if the time spin. Okay, a little bit. I mean, I saw them move an inch. So, looks like stuff is not seized. That's just going to take some cleaning to get it going. Okay, till next time. Okay, so I took the other set of tines off, and they're soaking in some soapy water. First set, pretty nicely. So, scrub them. They didn't do a fantastic job, but essentially this machine is designed to dig in the dirt, so I'm not too worried, but clean those up. They're done. The other set's soaking. And when that set's soaking, I thought I would take a look inside the worm gear. So based on the owner's manual that came with this thing, which was kind of nice of the guy to hang on to and give me, this was bought in 1971. And my research online says that these worm gears, well, first of all, I couldn't find anything specifically on this model, but similar like rototillers and snowblowers and stuff that have similar gears, this worm gear, people are saying that, some people say that the lubrication that's in here is good for lifetime. Others say that it's good for a couple decades. Some people say you should use grease. Some people say you should use oil. Some people say you should use gear oil. Some people say that there are brass components in here, so you have to be careful that you don't get something that will degrade brass. So it needs to be like a CL4 type gear oil. Well, before I do anything, I want to check it. And so there's this checker filler cap here. So this side where the tines go, I can't see anything. This side where the tines go looks pretty clean and dry. Right here where the bearing is. But then this side looks like maybe it's had some seepage or leakage. Although I did pressure wash this. That does look kind of oily though. So I don't know what I'm going to find in here. Like I said, this thing looks like it's maybe never been taken off. So I might be doing more damage than good. Can you see down in there? I don't know if you can or not, but there's definitely lubrication in there. I don't know what it's focusing on. I can't really see out here, but so again, sort of the do no harm type mentality. And I don't think so. Again, I can't see what the heck I'm looking at here. But so this end piece here on this side does not have a dimple, and on this side does have a dimple. But it looks like it's painted, so it looks like it's original. I don't know. Just something to keep note of. Okay, more next time.